It was a moment of validation and redemption for a group of former students of a now closed troubled teen boarding school in Hancock. Former music teacher Paul Gear of the Family Foundation School was sentenced to federal prison for forcing students to have sex with him. As News 34's Jim Emke shows us, the judge delivered a stinging rebuke to the school and the troubled teen industry as a whole.
It's all quiet on the campus of the former Family Foundation School. It's now home to a sports and arts summer camp with no visible trace of the horrors that are alleged to have taken place here. 143 miles away at a federal courthouse in Albany, former music and chorus teacher Paul Gear received a 27-year and 3-month sentence for raping 2 children during out-of-state trips.
It's been a long time coming. The things that I witnessed him doing at the school were very horrific and vile and disgusting. It's taken us a very long time to be believed. So I'm very pleased with the sentence.
One of those victims, Mike Melia, delivered an impassioned impact statement to the court, recounting how Gear's sexual assaults when he was 14 years old have caused a lasting nightmare, leaving him with feelings of anger, betrayal, a destroyed sense of safety, fractured trust, PTSD, and debilitating depression.
Nobody wins. Nobody wins, but if this can bring some healing, some closure, and allow those of us who experienced the torture of being a student at the Family Foundation School, that we can start moving forward and putting this in the rear view, so to speak.
During the sentencing, U.S. District Judge May D'Agostino delivered a sweeping condemnation of the school overall and its harsh disciplinary tactics. According to testimony in Gear's trial, the school, which was open from 1984 to 2014, restrained students by wrapping them in rugs or blankets and duct tape, leaving them lying isolated for long periods of time. Students were deprived of food or forced to eat regurgitated food, and pointless forced physical labor was used as punishment. D'Agostino called it torture and likely against the Geneva Conventions.
Especially from a federal judge to really lay the groundwork for what, in fact, we've all been using our voices for so long to describe the atrocities that took place at the family. It was very validating and reassuring, and now it's part of the court record, and it gives myself and other survivors one more thing to be able to show and prove to the world that we are to be believed and that what we've said is true.
D'Agostino also took the other staff at the school to task for presumably looking the other way, asking in open court, "Where were you and why didn't you speak up?" D'Agostino says many people failed the victims.
How somebody, an adult, needed to stand up and protect the children, and that there needed to be accountability instead of always telling us we're lying or we're exaggerating. That someone that listened to all of the facts, heard the whole story, and literally said, yes, this was a place that shouldn't have been existing for what it did for kids.
But those who were there and kept quiet, they're just as guilty as Paul Gear or anybody else. They should have. They could have easily said something, but they chose not to.
Samantha Morella's mother, Lori D'Alessio, made the trip from Florida to show her support. She says many parents are ashamed and regretful that they sent their children to the school.
A lot of us parents didn't really have a voice to say anything because we were told to not believe anything that our kids were telling us at the time.
The Family Foundation School, which later rebranded itself as Allenwood Academy, was part of the troubled teen school industry and targeted teenagers with addictions or other psychological challenges. Students say this trial helped pull back the curtain on the industry's abuses.
Something that's been swept under the rug for decades, and no light has been really shown on what truly goes on behind the walls. Everybody thinks, these boarding schools are created to help us, and in all reality, it's destroying us to the cores of us. and we struggled for years.
Before receiving the maximum term under the sentencing guidelines, Geer continued to profess his innocence, saying he has a clean heart and a clean conscience. His defense argued that the victim's testimony could not be trusted. The former students say that was just another attempt to put the blame on them once again, but they say this time justice has spoken loud and clear.
This shows that we are human. Our feelings, our lives matter. So we feel alive right now. There's no other description for it. Validated. So it's a beautiful moment right now.
The former students say the Family Foundation School provided no love and no therapy, but it did create a family of sorts. The victims say they now have a bond that cannot be broken, whether society acknowledges the crimes they endured or not. In Hancock, Jim Emke, News 34.
Former students say they want law enforcement to investigate other crimes besides those committed by Geer at the Family Foundation School.